Welcome again, good people. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's 2 minutes after 8, and yeah, as I promised yesterday, that today I'll be narrating a story because I have narrated this story on my WhatsApp status part one, but part two I never narrated it. So I think it's proper for me to start by narrating a story, part one and part two here today. Uh, then when we speak about the story, then I want people to also comment on what they think about uh, what happened in the story and how do they think is the best way to solve the problem in the story, right? So, good people, this is what happened. Okay, so the thing is, when you see me looking down, I'm looking on my laptop, right? So, basically, what happened is there was a family. Okay, we're going to call it family A, and there was family B. These families were neighbors, right? In the family A, uh, there was a man, the father of the house, right, who was abusing his children. You see, he had 5 children and he was abusing these children. He was raping his girl children, the children, and he was beating them up, and he was also beating the boys, and in every manner of abusing that you think a person can do to their child. So these children are subjected to this uh, problem of abuse, right? So this is what happened. So these people were neighbors to family B, right? So what was happening is every day the children from family A, they will go to play with the children from family B. And family B, the children were happy, the parents were not abusive, they were living a happy life. So every time these children from family A, the abused children, they go and play next door, they'll feel relief, happy at that moment when they are that side. But when they come back home, they they start thinking of the horror that is waiting for them back there at home. And it happened that at some point this father from family A, he beat and killed one of his children. So there were 6 children, so now there were left only 5, right? So it happened every day they were going to play there. Every day they were going to play there and come back. Every day they were going to play there, come back. Right. So it happened one day that they never returned back home. They never returned back home. They just went to play when it was evening time because even the parents, the adults from family B, they knew every horrific act that this father was doing to these children. And actually, they tried also to intervene, to advise these children to open police cases. But these children, when they report these things, the police were not arresting this man. They were just ignoring the case just like that. So until the children they came to a conclusion that our father he has some influence with the police, maybe because the police, even if we tell them, they don't care. So one day they went to play next door and they never came back. Day one, first night, Even the abusive father didn't even bother to go and call them and say, come back home. First day, first night, second day, third day, fourth day, 1 week, 1 month, second month, third month, fifth month, eighth month, 12 months. Still, there was no movement. So it happened that at some point, when these kids were that side, okay, when the kids from family A, they abused the kids, when they went to family B, they discovered that uh, these kids were enjoying life there, right? These kids were enjoying life there. As they were enjoying life, it happened that at some point, these kids, when they were, tell the kids not to make noise. Okay, it happened that at some point, these these kids, these kids, when they wake up early in the morning, when they wake up early in the morning, these kids that are coming from an abused family, an abusive family, it happened that when they arrived at this family B, they woke up early around 4 because the parents next door they were working, so they woke up early, which is what the kids from family B were not doing, because normally the kids from family B, they woke up around 9 in the morning when the parents had already gone to work, so that's when they start cleaning, and they don't cook until the parents come back from work. Then the parents will say, oh, please, can you start cooking? Then they start cooking, you know. So the parents also, they got used to that. So when the parents got used to that, and everyone was operating in that way, it happened that these children that were abused next door, when they came this side, they woke up very early, 4 a.m. They are already up. They are already putting water on fire for the parents of family B so that they can bath and go to work. They're already starting to make breakfast around 5 in the morning so that these parents can eat before they go to work. And when the parents were from family B were going to work, by the time they were going to work, already these kids had started cleaning the house. You see. So what was happening before these children from next door came to stay this side is that the family from the family B's parents, they used to buy the large triple decker pizza for their children, because uh, when they came from work, they will find the house clean, you know. And so they used to say, oh, we appreciate what you are doing, you see, and give them just a pizza, triple decker pizza, just to appreciate them. So these kids were happy about that. So they were used to that. They knew that every day pizza is coming, pizza is coming. So it happened that when these abused kids came through, these kids, they were working very hard, because to them they were not used to luxury of relaxing. You see, it happened that they would wake up very early, put water on fire for the parents to bath, and the parents now, they found it easy, because previously the parents were waking up and putting water for themselves. and before even they go to work, their breakfast is ready, they are eating and all that. Before even they exit the house to go to work, already these kids are already cleaning the house. And the kids from the family B maybe were still sleeping by that time. So until these parents said, hey, we no longer need even to consider getting a maid to help us in the house because these kids they are already doing more than enough. So why can't we reward them with that triple decker which we used to give these ones, our kids. So it happened that they came to a conclusion that, you know what, let's not give them actually the triple decker pizza. Let's just give them a real deal. A real deal is a small pizza like this. You see. So they said, let's just give them a real deal, you know.
Seven. What is this big? Do you still one?
Sizokhuluma ngakho. Ngisarekhoda ni. Ngilokhu hayi ngazi ukuthi yini but sizoku-check. Yeah, so we used to they used to give their children a big large triple decker pizza. Now they said, let's just save our money, let's not buy triple decker, let's just buy a real deal pizza, you see. So they bought a real deal pizza, like bensula ngazo ilokhuzana amathini lawa engawashileyo ngizokubonisa khuleka. So what happened is they rewarded them with a real deal. So these kids they were very happy even though because to them real deal was something because where they are coming from they're not even getting anything. You see, maybe I'll buy a triple decker pizza and buy a real deal so that I can come you know and illustrate. So what happened now? These kids stayed there until such a time. I said there were five kids, right? There were boys and girls, right? Until such a time when these kids started, some of them were good kids. Some of them they started uh, influencing the kids from this house to start stealing money from their parents. Even them themselves, they started stealing money. They started misbehaving, you know, started taking drugs, started teaching kids from this house also to take drugs and all that. So some of the kids from this house now they were drug addicts, and some of the kids that came from an abusive family were drug addicts until but the parents were quiet because they didn't care as long as they come back home the house is clean, you know. Until one day some of the kids from this family said, no, enough is enough, these kids must go back where they come from because even the pizza that we used to get we are no longer getting, and it seems like they are being praised for going an extra mile, you know, in doing things, waking up very early, of which we were not having those problems before. And now what we are thinking, they are messing up in the house, they are bringing drugs, they are, you know, they are stealing. Until one day they said, you know, these kids, they sat down with these kids and said, you are our friends and you are here because you are our friends and you are here because you visited us and we just allowed you to overstay, you know, you're welcome. And because we knew the situation of where you are coming from, And they said, but what you are doing now, the way you are behaving, and because of you, we are no longer getting the privileges that we used to get. So they said, you know what, please, can you go back to where you came from? Go back to your house. You see. So my questions. This is the end of the story, part one and part two, right? So my questions now is, what were these kids supposed to do? Remember, these kids are coming from, and remember, they're coming from an abusive family, and it's not all of them that were misbehaving. Maybe one or two out of five were misbehaving, and the other three were fine. And at the end of the day, they'll say, or even let's say, yeah, three were bad, two were good. And what do you think was the right thing to do? Were they supposed to chase them, say, go back to your abusive father? Or they were supposed to, these kids were supposed to see it for themselves, to say, oh, we've overstayed our welcome. Why can't we go back to our parents' house, even though our father is abusive? Or what do you think was supposed to happen in that situation? So, this story that I'm narrating is a reflection of what is happening with many African countries. They feel abused by their governments, they feel oppressed by their government. Then they decide, say, no, you know what, let's go down to other countries. Then they flock to other countries in large numbers. For example, they come to South Africa, right? And when they arrive in South Africa, because they are here, even we know that according to labor laws of South Africa, and there are some regulatory authorities that are responsible for gazetting or whatever, the rates at which certain fields of work are supposed to be paid and all that. So, for example, I'll just give you an example. For example, in a certain field, you can be told that, if, let's say, for example, you are a teacher, maybe they can tell you that, as a teacher, let's say a high school teacher is supposed to be paid so much every month according to the laws of South Africa, is supposed to be getting so much, which maybe the teachers in maybe the teachers in South Africa way back, maybe they were getting that. But maybe because of time, some people started flocking into South Africa, and you discover that now, no matter how qualified these teachers are, because the way they entered into South Africa, they entered in an unorthodox way, and they found themselves already here without the working permit and all those things, but they have that qualification to teach and all that. So you find out they end up getting jobs to work here and there, and they get hired, and whoever hires them knowing that these people are qualified. But let's say, for example, high school teacher is supposed to get paid, let's say, for example, I'm just giving an example, let's say, 20,000 rands a month. So you discover that, this one will say, hey, instead of paying 20,000 rands a month, let me just pay 5,000 rands a month. Then they take this teacher that is qualified and undocumented and say, you know what, we can give you this job instead of you staying at home having nothing to do. Just take this one. We can give you this job, but maybe you earn 5,000 or 8 or even 10,000, half of what they was paying the other qualified teachers that are local citizens. So if they realized that, oh, by employing one teacher we saved. Okay, the school continued, and the exams are written and people are passing and all those things. But we saved, we paid 50% on one teacher. Why can't we find a way of replacing all these others and employ all these foreign undocumented migrants? Maybe we can save a lot. They do that. Or maybe they don't remove all of them. Maybe if a school has got, let's say for example, 40 teachers, they take maybe 35 teachers, 35 teachers from 35 teachers from foreign countries, then maybe only five teachers from local teachers. So you discover that the ratio becomes improper. And besides that, besides the ratio becoming improper, it's done because these people are greedy. They don't want to pay. So, but because it happens first month, it happens first year, it happens until 10 years, a decade, nobody is questioning it. Until even other competitor schools, they get to have that information that, that school, this is what is happening. They end up also hiring these people, right? But remember, I said people flock in to South Africa in large numbers, and you discover that it's not only teachers that came. Teachers came, thieves came, robbers came, doctors came, uh, engineers came. So it's just a mixture of different professions and different characters, right? So, because a lot of people came with different motives, others are working as engineers, others are working in construction companies, others are working, then others are doing nothing, and others are busy robbing people, others are busy scamming, some are busy, committing crimes here and there, surviving from those crimes. Nothing is done. Okay, maybe police are trying to chase this one, chase that one. Where crime is committed, when they get there, uh, the chances of getting who committed, if there is no footage or CCTV, there is no way you will get the person, because even if they touch the surfaces and leave their fingerprints there, they are not in the system. So at the end of the day, people rise and say people must go back. So my question is, are they wrong? But remember, these people, they were relaxed for decades, 10, 20, 30 years or more. They were so relaxed about saying, no, 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 no. Something is wrong here. Something is okay. Their jobs of inspectors. I think that's where the problem began. Inspectors stopped inspecting. You know, there were no more inspections done in many companies or in many businesses or anywhere. So people were so relaxed. People got used uh, to live through unorthodox channels. Unorthodox means, so they got used to survive like they are in the jungle, the survival of the fittest. They got used to that. So all of a sudden, people are told, you know what, enough is enough. This is wrong. Okay, it's true. It's wrong. You must pack, pack quickly and go back. Is it that easy to just say, okay, guys, I'm giving you 30 days or 60 days, or I'm just giving you 90 days, you must pack your things and leave? It's not that easy, guys. It's not that easy, but it's the right thing to do. So that's the story. Fast forward, here is the question now: what must we do? And this question has got clear answers. Clear answers. We must unite because even people that are in South Africa, South Africans, they are crying, and their cry is genuine. It's a genuine cry. They are crying. You see. So the solution to this problem is very simple. All foreigners in South Africa, according to their countries, they must unite and not resist. Don't resist to say, I'm not going to go home, like others are saying. Others are saying, no, 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 we are going nowhere. That's not the solution to the problem. So I believe the right thing to do is all foreign nationals must unite according to their countries. If there are Zimbabweans that are in South Africa, gather and head count and be led. I will lead you. Don't worry. Those that are coming from Zimbabwe, I will lead you. If you want a solution, I will lead you. Gather, unite, then let's together make a way of going back home. All of us, right? If you are working, let's say you are an engineer, you are working in a company, and you know that they are taking advantage of you because you are not properly documented. So what you can say is, you know what, my employer, I prefer that there is another engineer, a South African, who is unemployed. I prefer that when I leave and I'm going back home, please employ. I'll leave this person in my position or advertise when I'm leaving so that you can get a replacement. I know these things are so painful to say, but they are the right things to do. So if we don't plan, one way or the other, we are going to go back home anyway, and it will be painful and unorganized. We will go back home, but if we don't plan, it will be so painful and unorganized, and people will be crying so much. So, good people, all I'm saying is we need to do this very fast. I'm calling upon all African countries. I'll try my best to unite all African countries, but first we will unite them country by country. Then we come up with a strategy of how they can go back home. Because somebody was worried, saying, oh, Hillbrow as it is, with high-rise buildings like this, if and it is populated mostly, if I'm not mistaken, maybe 99.9% of people that are staying in the buildings in Hillbrow are foreign nationals, maybe 99% or 99.5%, but a large number is foreign national. So someone was saying, they can go and live. I said, no, it's not easy like that because it's not only that they must go. Remember, there are South Africans as well who are making a living out of investing their money in property, and these properties are rented by mostly foreign nationals, documented or undocumented. But I guess the majority is undocumented. Like, if we just unplug them and say, we are going, guys, tomorrow we are going, then the investors that invested in these properties, they'll feel the pain. There'll be no money coming in, and maybe you'll see more dilapidation of these properties. So it will be from bad to worse. So I said, okay, do we agree that if if all the foreigners that are in these buildings can leave, do we agree that South Africans that are living uh, in the shacks, emkukweni, emalokishini, people who don't have housing, they will flock in their numbers to come to Hillbrow and start to rent these properties, rent these apartments, and fill them up? Do we agree on that? Are we agreeing on that? Because it will be a good thing. Trust me, it will be a good thing for the investors who invested in the properties. And also it will be good for South Africans getting accommodation. And remember, someone said, no, 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 how will they pay rent? I said, remember, when we exodusly go back, even the jobs, the businesses that we were doing, all these things will be taken over by South Africans. So if South Africans take them over properly and in a right way, then though that would be nice. Though if they successfully run them or successfully fill up these positions that are left by people that are gone, it will be easy for them to pay rentals. They'll be earning, they'll be making money. It will be easy to pay rentals and all that, right? But should it be difficult for them to manage to run these businesses, to manage to cope with being employed in those positions and all that? I believe that we will be a phone call away. Phone call away. They can WhatsApp us, they can call us, and let us know that, guys, Ish, since you left, things are not okay this side. We need you back, guys. Then we can find a way of properly and documented, properly and being documented, come back and fill those positions. But if there is no need for us to come back, then also where we are going, if we are united, it will be easy for us. We don't need the government. We don't need to cry anymore. AI is there. Think money is made online and all those things. But if we are not united, also it will be too hard for us. If we unite, when we get there, we open factories, we open businesses, we open AI. We make everyone to be busy, all of us. Then we'll create jobs. I'm not talking about government now. Government is there doing what they are doing. When we reach there, we don't even need money from the government. We need nothing. We need to unite as people and build together what will help us. And where once we build it and we see that it's helping us, we can develop from there. Then maybe when we are stabilized and happy, we can now find a way to say, okay, government, what are you saying? Maybe we can try to talk to them. But remember, when we do it country by country, we have to also have a, a point where we meet as all countries and as all people. We must have a point where we meet, we unite all the countries. And forget about SADC and AU. Those things will never do what I'm telling you. We can do it ourselves. So I know there are a lot of people that when they hear me speaking like this, they say, no, 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 no. Go alone as we are not going anywhere. It's fine. We keep on that's why I'm recording these videos, so that If people don't want to do it, and tomorrow they hit hard against an obstacle, they must always remember that, oh, but Seven Jones told us. Should have listened to Seven Jones and did things the right way. See, we have married South Africans, and and South Africans have married us. We have kids this side, we have kids this side. Actually, we are family, but we don't need to start not to listen to each other just like what the governments are doing. So, as human beings, we must start to listen to each other, find a common ground to say, what is it that others are crying about? What is it that you're crying about? Oh, you're crying about this. Okay, so how can we fix it? Can we fix it this way? Okay, because if we fix it this way, this will happen, this will happen. Then we bring all together. I'm trying to say let's come up with a solution fast and while there is time, because time is running out. If we miss it, you cannot catch up with the time that is past, that is gone. You can do your best today and you can do your best tomorrow, because those are the opportunities that you have. But if you fail to plan for your tomorrow and the time for planning goes by, it will be difficult for you to recover that time. It's either to be difficult or impossible. So let's not take chances. Let's do these things while we can. Have a lovely evening. Thank you for joining me. I still hope that one day I'll have someone to come and join me so that we can have this discussion. And I want to hear someone's point, because if people are believing that no, 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 what you're saying is wrong, what you're saying is wrong. I've heard a lot of people saying, no, 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 foreign nationals should go. It's very easy to say, no, 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 they must not go. Or to say, I'm not going anywhere. It's very easy to say. But the consequences that may follow that might be too heavy to bear. So it's advisable for us to strike the iron while it's still hot, to make hay while the sun still shines. Thank you so much. This is Seven Johns, Mr. Nube, also known as Seven Johns. I'll meet you again tomorrow 8 p.m. for 30 minutes